Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Abusuafoɔ for ɛha PENDREAM TV. Sɛ no first time my message so be me a subscribe button so. No click bell notification icon so. Comment section ho na do adwen chaba. Like na share dwumadi no ma afoforo ensa enka bi. Mepeso obegye na waka me ho na eti ensema Bernard Oduotechi adodo na friend BOT odi atudwa.
Bio.
Mini amejo so.
Bibi aboko de.
Me ho ye pa.
Good to see you.
Na madise say you do kwahye fiankwa nan. And let me say Ranford say open one of the sharp brains a year jumade change of government by take it leave it. You can't take Ivan out. Madam Fubin the can say a Tom Ribia in politics nyan said the Shenkuniete. You know, Ivan became a force, especially people outside the country will always want to listen to where His Excellency Akufo-Addo was taking Ghana to. You know, I think I'm not here to do lobbying for him, but appointing authority, we have to a bit open their eyes. Ranford, I say so because you see there are people they became the life wire for the victory, and reward must be given to the reward is due. Take it or leave it. And for me, on any day, Ivan was one of the life wire. He became a critical voice in analysis, in commenting. And these things were done from his pocket. Ofila she be never how.
Yeah.
You know, so let us see to reward people a big ginger the forward march of the cause of the party. Having said that, and for me, I've also said, person living with disabilities. I always say,
I think that as I'm not beauty kind of men and yo until they all can do no yeah and you know is this the other side way so people should know say yes. From the beginning, those times our platform to platform. That's it, no. It's been a long time. Yes.
Obiahuno. Ajuma mi no no bi anim.
Yeah.
Antino. O de mani nwie.
O we are.
But
Pacho we.
But me near me person man is we come with you come with you man. No.
Me come as you know. Now, so Ranford, the intro aspect here, persons living with disability in being recognized under the government.
Okay.
And Ranford, campaign time, say, offer, obiadmo deserving, but people living with disability in NDC did a yeoman job.
Yeah.
And in my view, from 2013 to 2017, PWDs were highly recognized. This time around, I'm not seeing it. It's true, Deputy CEO is a person with disability, but that is not enough. You are talking about a whole desk for the disability, 276 desks across the country. In terms of population-wise, Ghana, 13.2% of Ghana for need them of either way. So when you reward such category of people, you are blocking certain future votes. Ranford, and one of your biggest fans on Fantima constituency, Jane Amakwesen, Amabenyuado. As in country, so we are to credit man because of the data on the show.
Metaman.
And Tiama Benyuado is your child.
Metaman.
Or Sinyam Yadma by March no Wakra.
I see.
O Tuabet now also.
Womra.
And to them naughty.
Womra.
So having said that, Charlie, so far so good. I mean, Oshe preparation of government in a year. Ministerial appointment, I'll give the government 99%.
Okay.
On the ministerial, especially involvement of women, involvement of youths, regional balance, pairing young people with old people. The government has done that so well. But be a mesra ban some fun and CEO's appointment because you know why? Most of the ministers are MPs. So more Ransford, most of the time they will be in Parliament.
Okay.
But the CEOs not any ministers, and that will be the interface between the government and the grassroots.
Some year demand cover
And also
ministers in the
party people at the party can relate.
Okay.
If you appoint a minister on your party and shut down having because the ministers are there for policy aspects or the policy but the execution comes to the agencies. For example, so far Pablo as a youth minister, he has about 7 to 9 agencies under him.
Okay.
You may not want me now Pablo share every day. But all the 7 to 9 agencies the management team appointment to those places party factor should be key.
Okay.
Because omon any party man be interface. Nti one ye careful na okoye mother for all, father for all. Now kukukuru bia de ni kosi baabi a you may end up satisfying certain class of people.
Okay.
But eventually se party ban free latte bi okoshe e free teshi nungwa awoshi enya ablekuma techiman south bahwa there will be a disconnect between the party and those CEOs. And those CEOs also implement the programs of the ministries, international service, YE, NIP, MASLOC, Scholar Secretariat. Those appointments I must commend is in order because the people put there resonate with the grassroots and the party people. So having said that, I think that for my initial remarks.
Okay. But you shall see with that of the economy and the 7 member committee.
Now, me bra man in territory remarks.
Yeah, only I shall say that.
Oh, okay. To be a betum.
Oh, do a betum. I shall see your first round the course.
Oh,
Cram your interview about always saying tea. Only there. Shall see a chair.
Me the economy in here.
And tea, young fair economy, we are no about.
Ransford who say, let me come to the creditors committee. Bosia bonya de bonnet. And I don't want anybody to say NDC Bobosia and yet no. Every government we taxation free where or no source of revenue to cushion with developmental agenda. A borrowing. Now offer every businessman on the there are good and bad debts. Every good debt is a debt as a secure or contractor. And no bit my yeduma to yana hoka. And I always use Commander Sugar Factory in Terminal 3. Sanka NPP are buying shares on my Commander Sugar Factory yeduma right from 2017. Nka now Bosnia Bia Ghana Banji Free Exim Bank of India no. Nka internal generated fund revenue in your free company. Nka tuyana hoka creating more additional value chain companies. Yemfa Airport Terminal 3. Airport Terminal 3 ne from time the last NDC government esi Terminal 3 be pemon no. Bosnia Bia Banaji and Sabani Nyantua Nwiya, it is getting close to repayment. That should tell you, sir, and Bosnia Bobia na ya de bonnet. The contention among for the Kantia aban ye money say a chunk of the Bosnia or bon ain't me engagement piano. Okay. And I'll tell you why. This external creditors committee abano Marichi MO, you know. I feel no more call member countries. The member country, you know, you met the OC, which is more like the organization for the mother umbrella. Okay. It's China, home, Netherlands, home, Belgium, home, US, home. No, you must sign the bigger MOU. I feel now Baby go into the agreement per member country. And it's a 25 billion debt and out there. China, the woman you're saying, Netherlands, you're saying, France, you're saying, Korea, you're saying. Once you sort all those things out, no, and not just a man who to know, we a deferred payment. They can say deferred payment, or the car. But car, or the share will seek someone to your financial inflow, ne cash flow now. Won't meet all your debt obligation. You can go back to renegotiate. Into what the government now say, Abana call renegotiating a debt payment timeline. Okay. In the timeline, you know, ya chima man say, oh, debt ananka was our service no 2025 no. Ya amount 2 additional year
2026
and pay. And no about fasu a woman say, a mark banning the fiscal space to do other things. Ntinka sika nka ebi anka do be a half coin, upper east coin. Northeast, service or debt in 2025. No, they are giving you the space to free that space to for other projects. They are mesra ban on there. Sikabia nanka was or the cost service the debt within this time frame. I am out the fiscal space. No, so ye investment, apply it into baby a bit material and who can generate scam.
Okay.
And for example, Yanko Cocoa Sector, Dr. Randy Abbey, this goes to you. Cocoa Sector has become a cockshow way of raising revenue for the government. Because every year, no, cocoa syndicated loan. I don't know whether say car abana bregu hono or say service no anytime soon. But the cocoa sector say we make investment each seasonal year now. The returns come within 12 months. Because free be October be cocoa season. Enti say we cocoa road, free fertilizer, agrochemical, mass spraying. Whatever you do in cocoa sector, no, within 12-month cycle, no, it comes back. Until there was a finance ministry at say the fact that when you are am extend the debt payment for the next 24 months, no, is not a guarantee to spend money anyhow. Rather, no, it is incumbent upon government to say, okay, Sankana was saying me 12 billion to China. Near me 24 months to go. Hefana met me this 12 billion na share. In the next 24 months, no, getting it back to pay, no, Emma may problem on my. Now let me go back to the National Economic Forum now, banner for me. No. Now no me say former finance minister Honorable Amin Anta was taking a position say NDC aban F4 National Economic Forum. The say His Excellency Mahama nim their work economic management no na only any idea. Which I totally disagree. You see, the reason is this. Omo ya aban adwuma no adentina mo ho aya timeka sa mo mfa mo certificate mra me validation. Why? Ya fa wo adwuma mu.
Yeah.
O ye teacher ni, o ye nurse, o ye medical doctor, o ye banker. Ebia wo ADB, NIB, whatever. And I'm say ya aban adwuma ntino. O ho bien na ifo timi ba. Ni aba be say ye ba be payroll auditing. And he said last 3 months ago do o certificate ba ya sign fabra. Mu misa Ghana for adwuma. Why do they do that? It's for the purpose of validation. And he said, I buy the manifesto ba. No, because my manifesto me am the buy a resetting Ghana. But me try say me buy within 120 days. No, I'll set up a forum. They will go back to citizenry validation. And to the National Economic Forum or dialogue of the NDC government. No, run for some fast one say the government is going back to the people to seek the citizenry validation. And what does it do? Run for Ubet Machine Pabon 29th of January 2025. A year later, Bona would share Nipan. You may not need to implement that, but you can do it in another way. In NDC are buying in 2024 share boss say, oh, yeah, National Apprenticeship Program, Women Development Bank, a Jumeirah policy, 24-hour economy. They can go back to the point as an aura. So what the National Economic Forum, Dr. Ishmael Jansen, no, for me, I see to be a plausible step, number one, to get the participation of the citizenry. So we be said to me, so Esraka say, oh, and this is 24-hour economy. But then Kaube to me, started from the metro, Cape Coast, Secondary, Takrade, Kumasi, Accra, Tamale, Techiman, Sunyang, pilot it. Ranfobeka ya deba akwe ma free SHS. FAC continuous chronic challenges. The fact that you're in the wholesale. Enti abandon to me enya botre enya feedback ye.
Okay.
So for me, the National Economic Dialogue NDC about launch through a 7-member committee, is sensible. In fact, we woman say eba be ma agwedifo omo kra niema GPRTU4 gold dealers for obia san de na number say is this the way to go? For example, Enrameshe defense minister ewo ne veteran and he was talking about the fight against galamsey. And I was like, look, the fight against galamsey is not just about deploying soldiers. You deploy soldiers through galam stop, wine stop. Still I didn't stop. So it means that there should be an alternative way that it can be done in a more excellent manner. So in my candid view, Dr. Ishmael Jansen National Dialogue Committee is timely, is meritorious, and enhance the citizen participation in democracy because we no can't treat me say Emfa ho say me de me social contract about what sign dina so to about ma me no. I'm coming to you for validation. At the end of the day, say citizen no validate the person wo ye na omo gi tum na wo ya. It becomes a bona fide property of every member of the country. For example, yemfa Ora. Ora has come to stay. And so bisa Ghana ni bia na among most of the policies of the NDC, you know, the Ghana for akoma so a operation recover all the loot. But let me tell you, Attorney General Echo for Veteran and emphasize say the government of the NDC may reintroduce the tribunal system. The NPP is trying to create confusion out of it to say, oh, the tribunal system they under Rollins and it was more like witch hunting, persecution, etc. But look, so to Krum now will be a Abrana His Excellency Kufuor Maye no to Sreje Dama. Now within a short period of time, or see mansion or talk as a hodwa, you must begin to audit the financial lifestyle of that person. And the ora na yetrim papa Ghana for assume. So we'll go back to the citizen where they may even tell you where certain hidden assets and property are hiding.
Okay, but before we inform CCS, President Mahama touched it down.
Okay.
From a year called Tanzania and or call a year Kenya and or call AU meetings. I mean, say how they are Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, they on Tayano. Or touch it down CCS our airport. So live feed, you know, also producer Behena or the Atoso. And I've seen Emma Marietta Brew. I've seen yes, Tandobe Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff. I've seen the security for Nafi. So cameraman actually now. So see, I'm not gonna say President Mama too quiet over the weekend. I feel what touch that Chief of Staff Julius Debra and Edina Dima on the red carpet. You know, one more name so Omobanti. Okay, so we're trying to come. We're trying to come. Now we know. Ghana, your presidential jet not the choir. I've seen Felix Kwachu for Su and I've seen so opposing here within a cheers, a former Kofi watch it, right? Yeah, Nathan Kofi watch it. It's Watani came more Makofano from the airport. It's President Mahama attach it down from a year trips outdoor choir within the Africa continent. Yeah, Bio to us.
Okay, so Ranford, Mayoma, His Excellency Akwaba. Na Akwaba was here, there, video we day here. And now, His Excellency is to build an international reputation that will make Ghana attractive. Now, Abraham Banaminia, Ivan, Kasaba, ECOWAS, and people exiting ECOWAS. Yeah. The fruit of His Excellency Kufuor do Diano, Swabana, ECOWAS for Ababeti. Because you cannot go and ditch and a West African country to their former colonial masters and later want to play games with them. Now, having said that, let me still come back to the National Economic Dialogue. Yeah. And before Akwanya we was Ghana for say, at any moment Ghana for better the timetable of the National Economic Dialogue, let us get involved. Because you see, nobody the monopolist of intelligence. We must seek to contribute through the democratic dispensation. Look, Oko Singapore, more philosophy be said, you must democratize wealth. How do you democratize wealth? You can democratize wealth when you allow the people to participate. Enti abambia economic policy or the babe tudra so babe ya maono. How then do you get the people involved? How do you get the people to participate? Okay. How do you get the people to participate? And when I'm who say Dr. Ishmael Jansen committee must be embraced. Obi pia our further ideas a bit mabuama man and chichiri ya koso open up. And then let's thank God to say, but for the intervention of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Dunso would have come back in a very bizarre manner. But through his intervention, now Dunso is not back, and Dunso will not be back. Inti we now follow into the bigger national economic dialogue. Okay. I will personally be involved, but because you know what? We must get the validation from the people. And was said Ghana for no medium co-promotive fem here 57% plus and 38% vote for the NPP. No, I was say come back to them. You see, There are some people who to Obama NDC, they did so not because they love the NDC, but they did so because of the beautiful policies who a manifesto with. But we must allow come back and contribute to the post-election discussion. And the national dialogue of the government and Kwenya number 1. Yeah, the Magana for say Obi Bia drafting manifesto we now on Kahono. There is a second chance for you. Brabe contribute to idea of a sort. And the National Women Development Bank near there bar. Sankra na modern say ne be ye. Number 2, said National Apprenticeship Program oba. Send ye ne be ye. You are created for the very first time Youth Development and Employment Ministry. But you know what means the ministry now you are creating no. In what way might it be structured? Kwan ben I honor lawyer George Parado faso nyene juma because you see the young people of this country killed themselves for the victory to arrive. So victory now badia. For the first time, we are creating a special ministry. Ebenya 7 to 9 agencies. Ne bote ene say, yen develop mabunu, yen power mabunu. And look, every government biana obenya conscious agenda. So promote mabunu ye dieno. The sense of winning election is somehow guaranteed. So that is that. Again, se ene yenya external creditors committee amomaji yatum. Na ye kan ye ba be defer. The best finance minister and said, we must also be extra careful not to borrow more. And now I know can say, don't forget to say, capital bond market now. And now my banya tremuni and we have an injunction of a sort.
Okay. And
your mom you need to say, and this year my agency bond or capital marketer, we will borrow at a higher interest rate.
Okay.
Because obi biana would they count me to your kano. So call banga kwa je bosia foforo support to business. Bank ne beka se wo no risks na e wo so no eso enti nsihu na me de be ma wo no se man ye kese and the disadvantage wo mu with this whole external creditors arrangement ne say send this aban ye yadwen se be call capital marketer as we speak no interim injunction da yeso na even crown se injunction na anya adwuma Ranford so mo gitin se be bobo se na interest rate na nka quantity o mo de ba eye fofofo no they are going to raise the interest rate on any amount we borrow. The consequences in say fashion team so sa bond marketer busia bia Ranford obeje no in dollars. And you say o sit na ntimi anye stable. Now bob busia in dollars aban bi obesna ba be di wade no. Oh broker go no so for you are creating generational indebtedness. Enti akro hye no ma meyem oye clot of blood ye nyanwo no no. Se ukoso de busia na bosia na venture into concessional project and no bit me tua no ka you are creating a certain generation indebtedness aban beko ye ba bro bosia na agusro ba ye mro bosia mfa nya niema one a bit me tua no ka the social impact of those borrowing no will make sense to people. And one area on any day I will push for say about 40% of government borrowing must go into the agricultural sector because Ranford say if you cannot grow what you eat, you can't eat what you grow. So why you buying? Na niema udi kwa uyem. So when to one kasa when to me enya. A bedroom maybe no. The old bed in a do free baby. Let me give you an interesting statistics. I've done a certain research on some commodities all over the world. No, ne value kre wo ho no. E suchen cocoa. Na debia ye koso no. One, let me start from rice. Ranford so far rice as a case study. Globally, every year, 450 billion worth of rice and amount food. $450 billion worth of rice. Tomato, $195 billion worth of tomato. Vegetable oil, $200 billion. Fruit juice, $150 billion. Cassava, $100 billion. Sugarcane, $80 billion. Maize, $90 billion. Pineapple is $70 billion. Banana is $60 billion. Palm oil is $60 billion. Plantain is $50 billion. Yam bayre $40 billion. Sorghum $30 billion. Granite $20 billion. Soya bean $15 billion. And today from Bloomberg and I'm in your report.
Okay.
It should tell you say abani you go you focus on agriculture. Near on commercial production, near be produce rice, tomato, vegetable oil, fruit juice, cassava, maize, sugarcane. The dividend that they be brand mine is immeasurable. They try to Musa Dankwa Global Info Analytics or the survey be about beto abonting. na ɔse selfa afi remittances ifrab amanone buy. Now they compare foreign direct investment. Remittances ifrab amanone buy. Almost 5 times foreign direct investment. But into Becca say, okay, what is foreign direct investment? Obi wa manone ram for dobe hwe na opeso o money sika obey investment to Ghana and only FDI. But obi nso wo ho a wo to kwa akodu abrochi. Okodu abrochi no or the scare money fee. The Musa dan to global gold that is do say foreign remittances for 2024 stood at $6.65 billion for Ghana. And we have foreign remittances. Okay. Amount for a woman no mudi scare money fee. 2024 no Ghana for this scare money fee nkwa na ye $6.65 billion.
$6.65
billion. Scare amount for the money for bruche ba Ghana. Yenti ha FDI foreign direct investment or more mubesisi companies on be invest in Ghana no. And no ye $1.7 billion. So funny average is almost $5 billion net excess in favor of or more this can money fee no. It is a way you buying and now you can say no. There's more deportation going on in US. Into US are buying a deporting pabe
Bianco fee. Some
other country may want to follow. A ban sana foreign remittances in 2024 no. And so Betsy going into 2025. But what must say?
Yeah.
And foreign remittances about 2024 $6.65 billion no. Say I'm here. Not the Trump who yan a gene not to us 2025 foreign remittances no as we bet not about $4 billion. Now, however, no idea ne de company basis ya here no ba basis yet we cram more tax waiver tax exemption. The American question say baby as say ye drew no aban your tiswe ya nkasa ya aban ye de ne buy. The Minister for Foreign Affairs I will say ye the ambassador of US to Ghana go into renegotiation. The reason is that Ranford, Siama ye deporto amount for begu Ghana, ebema unemployment rate no apeja at the civil right at the social vices beba. Inti the American question is say it is true. Trump decided to obey deporto amount for. Is there a way that our government can engage the US administration so that Ghana for bebre no more deportation is ready or more bano. You bet market daily. Say yes, let me say it on this show. Foreign remittance Sebeba 2025 no, it will be less than the year 2024. A banner sounds so a ban revenue or pay at the actual money 2025 no, there will be a shortfall.
Okay. Maybe so a question when I'm in court na fi mene Ivan and Twaso honum. With regards to a year OMU abaya kosane.
Yeah.
Now you postpone your debt $2 billion plus dollars.
Yeah.
And they're called next year no.
Yeah.
Arrangement no man I am yesika sem hold money console.
Yeah.
Are we going to pay extra your friend is saying interest on that money?
I want to say
and I send a transaction at year.
A lot of international transaction must pass through Parliament.
Okay.
Until minimum po jina Ghana na mu sign yet.
Okay.
Whether it was the president himself, chief of staff or finance minister. So finance minister sign here we are. Afen ye babe called the member country agreement.
All right.
Yentia se ha. Ye fe be creditors committee. Ye ka se creditors committee a. Abra Ghana kwama no kobo obosan o bond market no. Countries bebre ne kan bo mu beto o bond no bi. Countries no na be free France, e be free Netherlands, e be free Belgium, e be free UK, e be free Asia wherever. Omo wie no mu nyina ka bo mu te say okay. Ye sika wa bebo ye bosin no. Ye te CC creditors committee, official creditors committee dia regulate bosin na wa boye no. And na ye ka say no. Sa committee ni nyina ne Ghana ba kwa aksetena dia tum se kana ye de no nya de betumatua ne ne ba ye betua. Ene ne tua mu no ya send your friend say the general framework. Afen na Ghana ban ne ankrankre country say wo OCC num enti e bia se Paris Netherlands whatever woman. Ghana finance minister is going to engage them. Oh yeah, I'm sure say because I say international engagement, you know, they will lay that paper in Parliament. Then Parliament will ratify certain agreement. Parliament ratify Vienna went yeah. It may come with certain concomitant effect. Ebi bet my den. Abri biana official creditors committee and will be going to mother agreement, they can lay claim to your strategic investment. It be a dang. It be bet my port, or ECG, or water system. And the agreement where you sign, in as much as it is a good news, there may be other terms and conditions. And every contract be and if it be Obama for that utmost good fit. Abana kwayan shisha say, krata me dem nse sha see Sabri we sona mantime ntwa misika wo semitua. Majapade we ye somburu mutimi ba befa. I take you to Tanzania bisi wo ho. Zambia bisi wo Zambia. Edru me be Zambia the Chinese government lay control over most of the strategic asset. And to question our bisa abana to anamon papa but it's not conclusive yet. I was said in the coming days Ghana by Ghana for who say deferred agreement na yako sign what are the explicit terms and conditions? And she understand it here. Number 1, you be condition subsequent condition precedent.
Okay.
Condition precedent ni say ansa na moja agreement na tum no and who ba na the man the official creditors committee. Number 2, member countries na ewo mu no agreement be na no omokwa akoye. And na say o sense agreement ni wie na say duration of 24 months no so na wantimi antua. There's also conditions subsequent. What are the conditions subsequent? Is it says a Ghana appointment in 24 months? Ombedi your port, ombedi ECG, ombedi VRA, ombedi cocoa board. Government must come clean. Government must not do concealment. I will say Ghana buying back clean. No, my Ghana for who say agreement ayako say say 24 months ni drew. Na it ye default ye indebted and ye entria. Terminal 3 omobeje, ECG omobeje, Commander Sugar Factory omobeje, Cocoa na ye betia for 2025-2026 they can lay claim to it. Ranford, abano any soldier they will see Ghana for.
Okay.
Government must come clean, and then now ye can say government must not just pride itself in the fast say a sign agreement. That is not enough. Into 1, government should let Ghana for know what were the condition precedent.
Okay.
And be na sana mo be sano mumienu nyina moji tum. Don't forget say finance minister act in our interest. Number 2, second 24 months no so. Ni enye scan tuano in promptitude. What are the conditions subsequent? Finance minister government of Ghana must come open and clean.
The ATM business question here because you know him Bosnia Boa President Kufuor, the former president, and the administration they Ghana focus him. And see I know ya dia. I say o Ghana for ehun se ne yeko. Now ochina bibi ba yan fa ho so bo anya den. I'm a ball.
Rafa make answer back control.
Meet you.
Aban bia a going concern. Going concern in the sense say you knew the challenges there. And now the manifesto way by say and now say one who challenges Nintino. You are coming to reset the country on the premises of jobs, accountability, prosperity. And on the accountability front, it was said by close of the week. The Finance Ministry of Ghana, headed by Dr. Kislato Force, must come clean. Nama Ghana for whom say agreement na yako sign. 1, condition precedent no enunye. Number 2, condition subsequent ni ente 24 months drew na nyame mpangu ekoba se Ghana buy ntimi an service an on ne financial obligation na wo default a eniema be ne se so default o mbeje eye port eye kwan eye nsuo eye nkania ente ba no saa no a GRA Ghana for etua to se oh to a ye tue ne se ye ntua ye to ye ne evade avoid taxes. Yet me service a debt in the next 2 years ye ECG na cry no ombet ma ba beje Ghana water ombet ma ba beje but I'm pretty sure say this finance ministry will do the needful because you see so we lead it to one thing the government must avoid Ranford a concealment and this are buying trust or the bibia be say to me for ade ba ko e bo NPP for echi an element of concealment omo ya ade a na eyo madwen say money you mufie japade so in ending no the papa but bonuma bi berebo bi anso bonuma eden etare ho agreement na wa sign no come clean to the people magana fo hunu senance share ne tie so there sechina bi bi kura na nya na finance minister ni areshafo na fo ba Ghana fo even in 2025 January kura no boy kokko say See, and me and Tuakan in 2 years' time, this will be there.
Give you a certain space, but and also show the extent of economic situation in Ghana at this point in time. Prior to the elections, and I think now most of the argument that we were making, a center on the current state of Ghana's economy. Kwanya abanya faswa bobu siasebi yamwene ho. All the warning signs were quite clear. So Ghana was descending into the abyss, but these people ain't ready to listen to any of the reasonable analysis in semana manfoka. So I'm also bobusiano boya but could do a pointer. Now we need to say throw your hands in air and say hey, we've given up, we can't service our debt. But watching my room said answer na COVID World Bank country director sounded the alarm bells at Ghana your debt, looking at the trajectory and your corner. Your debt and sustainable, and that we needed to do something to remedy the situation. But you play politics with it. What is a finance minister? A press conference, a bastardize, COVID by post-COVID, and I who say indeed, Ghana economy was really in a shithole because na Jumadia na abanya fato no hodena ne say ono de abosiana na obo. They were not even focused on generating money internally. Homegrown policies na say nka eba sabe betimi complemented those little things na eba and outside, those things were nil. So the whole concentration was focused on say yam bobosia and kenoforata fato no so within a short period of 4 years. Now the gentleman alone I go into the bond market I could raise over $11.2 billion abakrom say. It trigger a whole lot of conversation. COVID buyer, a husika buyer. Then subsequent to that, now there was no way between and the funny aspect of it is that do you know say post COVID, Ghana is the second country to declare bankruptcy after Zambia. At Samreno, na ya dodge common framework initiative. Post COVID, World Bank ne IMF kabom ka say okay, COVID aba ye name the impact. So some of the countries now move facing debt distress, Momra na mo enter into this common framework. IMF ne those countries will negotiate on our behalf. And these countries will negotiate on our behalf. Sabeya your creditors will give us a briefing space because omunim COVID and the impact. You say a proud nation. Yada young because your people will say hippic women the idea so we didn't go until abra ya call 2022 say ya call raise Eurobond to be one more cast that is when Kenoforeta saw the need say uncle but that dana ya shut it door then we needed to use other means to enter and this agreement here ya can once a part of the common framework initiative ya kofa window no the agreement not proud to say IMF sika no beba. Now that discussion was going on, but it has been formalized. So it's a discussion that has been going on for so long. And you formalize it through this, your friend saying MOU understanding with our creditors and so forth. But the funny aspect of it is and resolving the issues, all the issues, because official creditors committee, Ghana, this time round, bilateral. Your friends say creditors. You the Paris Club, you China, you multilaterals, and other commercial space.
Yes.
There are about 25 countries, and the idea of Mocha in this particular way, involved because the Paris Club, and I think that the amount is somewhere around $1.9 billion. China is 1.7. The multilaterals in the 8.1, and then the other commercial entities in the 3.2, and the idea of Mocha. And yes, Eurobond. Or one of their commercial creditors, more or less like private institution within a commercial space. Yes. Different from way. So when you are negotiating with the creditors, different from your friend is saying, Eurobond, because Eurobond, no floating bond, private individuals as for bonds and as for so this discussion, 2.8 billion relief for this year. No, I feel that I buy something to us. None that your friend saying Uncrofono, so what kind of letter no anymore? Bet you say Sasika no say around $2.7 billion. ye no mo hwese in the coming months no ye betimi bag agreement na which means a side and side no ni nyina mo bie ye de koyanim. And I think say this particular way no a step in the right direction. Maybe this agreement will inspire those on the other side to also agree with us. No more my that particular briefing space and say be able to move on, because until that is done, I'm telling you that there is nothing we can do as a country, because I will have the amount of money I say the service your debt senka sa nneema we nyina ani ho a wache sika agigi no krom ho nyina ka bo bentimi ntua ye ka wo sika agigi no krom ho nyina na wo bisa wo say kwan be na new government nka obefa so abaye nhyehyeye na na America say when government changes like this, there is a goodwill. Emma, some investors confidence in that kind of hope. So okay, there is a new regime this time round. No, we hope that they will do things differently. Sebaya Nema ebekoye, and I think that it is at the back of that particular your friend is saying hope, no, and some of these creditors are coming on board. I more agree with new government, hoping say the initiative no nasa for my yedi go akwamu enti. And at this particular committee, I can't want to say President Mahama Sati Api. The sole focus should be on homegrown policies in the initiative. A bit me still for economic growth internally. Sebaya your reliance on yankobobusian no ebe cut it short, because on my bien wa o bobusia gidigidi a wodi be ye ya mobusian fa nye ye ana wo bobusiam na say where I just say you can borrow yourself out of a debtor na say be as a winim dia wo ye, because you can't borrow to service a debt and no certain things will get. No, we need to institute proper economic measures ebe focus on yen kasa how ebetimi turn things around ebe hu say enema ekoye, because there be a me analysis. I tell people say there are countries or more yes enema we yama na ye. So why can't we do the same thing? If I take you back 50 years ago, you know that China was one of the poorest countries. Or Tanzania, who said I have the numbers, I can leverage my numbers for economic growth. Because Tanzania, who said numbers no, even America quite different. Yeah. And this is a phone, yeah. I have a lot of people to buy my phones than America. Just imagine say Obia turn away there. Then currency na devalue na yesu no. Or not share that devalue ne there. BOT you can check Chinese yuan as compared to your friend saying American dollar. And do to China, when you can into iPhone, that is a fact. Because the dollar, in terms of dollar weight, amount of money ube here and what you converted to get $1,000 to buy iPhone, no, you need to be a billionaire and you need smartphone. So the only option you have is to buy from China. When you buy, the economy grow, and that is what they are doing. And this your friends say cars, yeah, by issue. Your friends a battery. I'm finding saying this green cars here by electronic vehicles, you know. Chinese companies are producing, and over amount, you know, compared to American winner, you have no other option than to buy from your friend the local industries. One, a creative job opportunities, a stable economic growth. So these are initiatives. China, Tanzania, who say me ankasa, I can turn my fortunes around based on my number and make sure say me ankasa meye bibi. By hano. You taste for foreign goods, you know, that kind of import, you know, is the reason why we are here. Because in the poultry industry, we carry money to go outside and import and cocoa funuba kroma man for by way. Yet kroma ekra more as at 2022, yet the over your friends saying $500 million echo abontin koto a more 512. Eba kroma say one country your friends Thailand and over $200 million from Ghana. Now such a country, how can you survive? So this whole initiative, new policies, economic recovery program, Biano must focus on say locally, industries will work again, agriculture will come to life again. Now there are nearma ya won yanka se betimi turn into finished good. Na ya yetimi aye how we betimi feed ya ho. Na sa reliance ya disika kokra nearma no eso katia. Trust me, the economy will bounce. But anya sa na be business as usual said the esikoya the aka nyina ba kasa aban will come and talk, nothing will change, because at the end of the day these things grow economy. Very often we do a very narrow argument. We justify aban ba wafa teacher for or by wafa nurses, wafa doctors. My culture say sa nyuma no yemfa grow economy. What nurses, doctors and teachers offer the fence saying third third person services.
Yeah.
And I said, like, because teachers are there to teach the workforce, to equip them with knowledge and the requisite experience needed at the job market. Nurses are there to ensure that the job market workforce, will get healthy. Security are there to provide your friends a safe environment for them to work. So if you don't have the workforce, as I knew money, because you need a workforce that will work day and night to ensure something will grow out of the economy. And to those numbers, those arguments, you can't make it anywhere and say, yeah, buy for nurses, yeah, buy for doctors. Those were not important there, but they do not grow economy. So I think that the focus should be on industries, agriculture sector. How do we incentivize young people and ensure we provide them with the machinery and the necessary tools farming and as for in a larger scale. Okay, a place like California, one person over thousands of acres and as for the machines and as for, and these are rich people outside. So why can't we do the same here when we have lands and then as for them? Yet the crewman and recently to your politics and people are bold enough to say masi hostel makaya ye for my yesia makaya ye for na bisan say kaya ye a bad a byproduct of a staggering unemployment situation that young people are facing in the north. So why don't we focus on addressing those challenges, making sure that young people will have something doing rather than coming up here to do kaya ye na mom yakosi hostel amom so monko dem na omodi omo life anu so mon kaya ye. You see, these things we cannot continue. So I think that anema we are course within the economic space in no should give us a reason to know over the years path na ye nam so no affiliate. And we cannot continue this trajectory because there is absolutely nyansa sembia nu ha ya bobosia to the sense that the last time almost somewhere I think July 2024 now your debt and I'm over bare 722 billion Ghana cedis. Now we sound how sustainable and this at some point in time IMF no World Bank projections it was around 100 over in terms of our debt to our GDP. Ya betranse na ya kofa sa numbers we nyina na ya ba we say na ya kan na ya twa ho hia na ya ko I know the real issues na da ho na ya se ya kan ho asam na ya nka ene so we ya proper economic analysis we don't even use GDP anymore because GDP no give you a friend saying some kind of a wider view of economy inside the city. That is why a man for are dwelling on things like a friend is saying human development index and then as for no because I don't know a focus on individuals. One kasa things like literacy, things like lifespan, how healthy you are, these things. Because these are things that measure the kasa, it give you credible data about how people are feeling within the country. Not GDP. GDP there, some of the things now, how do we even benefit? Because if you go to the larger economic space in this country, the goods and services that are produced in this country, and most of the companies that are doing major transactions in this country are foreign companies. At the end of the day, the monies they gain don't even stay here. So when you do the larger competition in terms of GDP, you have figures. At the end of the day, take out MTN, then you vote from the free, you South African companies, now you those Indian companies, transact because they are the big businesses in this country. Now we say locally, they send a city here. So I think that even that one, the focus should also be on the locally. Your friends have manufactured in the way your space, now you how the economy is really doing well and the impact it has on our people. Because our company, I don't know the day they take all their monies outside.
Foreign dominance,
Exactly.
No can't be done by economy.
Yes, young they don't go and do business.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
South Africa,
now, or no crack on the saying.
Yes.
Business
South Africa for Baha will be more kesian as for sorry. Oko US or Kwana school diner and a Kohania team
and a Babeso.
Not the Chesensem Hunkwa. A man for Baha or more be a big business, And we also, you see, your work ethics, we need to change and realign them. Unia, there was a time I may call more Biwo, your friend saying Janshi Spinters Road, so. Beauty, do you know, sir? Eduru Sunday na ebumi mama for third there.
Okay.
there was a time anopa Sunday anopa me say me pe aduro ato or drugstore. Trust me, the whole community, not a single drugstore was open. Obi atum so kwa sorry. So when you live in a society and people have that sick mentality, that country will never grow.
And I just said, yenya SD4. So be into SD4 no Sunday anopa.
No, they're even going to church for Catholics, for instance, early morning. By 8 signs no upon. Sorry, then I say for them. What I say, you see, these are some of the things that we are new goose and man. But the same people go to UK and as for cotton on them 1 hour. They can the quack and Juma cock penny dollar and as for. So work actors in that kind of near money in ano. I see a near to me to na who say a Jumana no. There is a productive output in as a forum. I'm not sure say yet room ha. You bet me a gauge a juma ye. Then the productive way returns a yenya. But no, the amount of money you push it into some of these enterprises in as a forum is so huge. So I know the day it's like the country is running at a loss. We are not gaining anything. That is why there are always gaps for us to look for money to finance. Now, my yeti. Budget kra come no, there is a gap to be financed. Sometimes 50 million, sometimes 200 in as a forum. These are some of the conversations that I think we need to activate as people.
Okay.
Now you who say you reposition a country in terms of economic trajectory in the path so now you turn things around. So industries. And that's dominated the conversation.
Okay.
This is the only way to turn Ghana's economy around industries.
Okay.
I even make sure say there are production day, night, amount for a year, Juma, year, Koba. That is the only way. They can politics. Obi I can't just ignore. That is the only way. Now you make sure say major production hub. I will come here amount for air toy and kasa ye nema ye produce na sika esa kwa bonte so beto. That is the only way you can turn the economy around.
Ope CEO ba kwa Ghana timi achieve highest metric tonnage of cocoa beans edo to oponi.
That's true.
Now, I'm not saying it because me bononi. But Attorney General wa yembona baso. The state wasted everybody's time for 7 years and over. In a jurisdiction, and all the justices near Attorney General handle case no. Quebec start charging of causing financial loss to the state. Because the process of the criminal proceedings for 7 years, the financial toll on the economy, you have no idea. Again, the omode Dr. Opunia for me, any allergy say do agongo, a for me, in so at the bebra mine, so be our purpose or person or some man or bet thinking you because you may be thinking, says, I bind the son. Are they going to witch hunt and persecute you? Are you be our own person or kind of clearly no? And near my day papa no fair money allergy said to was a clear element of witch hunting and political persecution. Look, we all know say ora yejuma. Makamesnary pedini. You see? But ye money koye de do to punibia. An element of witch hunting, persecution, criminalizing people when there was no element of criminality. There is no Ghana to build. Dear lawyer, I mean, Attorney General, I give credence to the fact, say, the NPP government wasted our time, our years, and they were on the mission of clear political propaganda.
Obiako procure fertilizer.
Precisely.
Also, work of Obize make fertilizer a fake.
Now, in Bibi,
and yet, Manipana was fertilizer and a boduma pa.
Intelligence, Amanian say, I brought to Puni free sono or crown second Makumaku 1 million.
Wow.
Cutlasses.
I called the chair Cocoa for.
I said, it wasn't a prosecution,
yeah.
You can't touch it.
That's true.
A caveat was issued. So, the Attorney General, why you know, you commando. The best sense under your jurisdiction and watch, the OSP and every state institution, say UOCO, Financial Intelligence Center, National Intelligence Bureau, which is BNI formally, you dispassionately. There shouldn't be element of political persecution. There shouldn't be any color of witch hunting. Masa, so be a real manisika, said the Mranekano, fan of famra quest.
No.
Baba Manen Koye say, we cry the air around for that you bet me the president.
Yeah.
And yen destroy the carrier ne. Said the bear that in the president didn't me muscle. And look, Ranford come to think about it. Alleged said Gongo, one of the accused person, I come and know you free man. No only Heritage Bank mebwa.
Yeah.
Na omo de the case in the dina so revoke the Heritage Bank license. Emma Ghana bank tran sika so.
Right.
I think over 100 billion or so. It's a certain amount of money. I don't know the actual, but around 450 million Ghana to 1 billion Ghana cedi. Yen Mr. Ghana bank said the guy cannot file a judgment debt case against the government of Ghana. What him say? Because omo de the case na work court no. And then revoke the Heritage Bank license. And according to Mremono, the very door by we need case, it means the premises be a Ghana bank so the revoke the license is untenable and it cannot stand in the face of the law. And it may be so. Since they see a lady said we're going to go sorry. No petition Ghana bank said we revoke the Heritage Bank license. Oh my me boka. Me file judgment debt case against the government of Ghana. Who loses? It is the state. It is a state. Until was Attorney General, former Attorney General say no, that should be our say I didn't buy charging me causing financial loss to the state. Having said that, no, when you so called baby now say, Drea Kwakwan and Sitina say who ya dear chan into Kuman Tanas in Tonko. Every appointee under this current government must also realize say Bibi Dawanim. The aura must be a two-sort affair. The aura must not seem to be only targeting previous government. But the aura in it quest to deliver real justice and to recover looted amount, cash, land, whatever, no, you must also target our own. Ministers, CEOs, ambassadors, board members, presidential staffers under the current government, no, aura na abano, amba ma NPP from Kwamo. Because Ransford, so ye deacon or ye elder. Now, kwa Sunday mu ko preachi, say Joma Monye. Ni ebe na obaba twi Caesar or twi shisha some kind of shisha obi no obeje unya mesem na tom enti always no you must make sure your home is clean enti the make card man no sini say they are told to open no it must be a lesson to all current appointees say dumade bi e de ahye wonsa say ye MPA say ye cocoa board say ye YEA say youth minister say ye finance minister no know that there's another government watching you. That government can be this government or future government. And for me, you can make yebe to me or na ye jumano. Yen placing more lens on current appointees. Or more the law will deal with them. If they misappropriated fund, embezzle funds, stolen, they stole lands, whatever, the law will deal with them. But see it me checkmate ye na corruption buffum, embezzlement buffum, misapplication buffum, looting of asset buffum one. Ranford. This government will end up to be one of the best under the Fourth Republic.
All right. Ivan, you're probably just enough here, sorry.
Yeah, I think that not BOTS. I think that there is something that we need to caution ourselves. Because I don't see why your more be appointment, you see this fanfare, your GNE, that kind of jubilation, giddy. Maybe a mariner do no, things are different, no. That is why I told you, sir. Governance is a public enterprise. Yeah. Citizens are at stake. They are watching everyone with bullseye. So I think we should be focused on the mandate that has been given to us to deliver. Because at the end of the day, Ghana are not going to forgive. And there wouldn't be anything to justify why we fail or we didn't fail. Trust in Ghana are committed to president unwavering, absolute. And I think that focus as a driver, whatever thing that we do. Because in the past, say I can say, no the day consequences be anywhere. If you're able to create a certain conventional deterrence, na man for who's out on Sabba or mine sikam, a whole consequence in here. Yeah, did you want any show on Sakrana, Ubamu, and Yanijia, Pam white and Quadas or them Quadanya Mias say, I am DC. Because maybe we are, and there are no consequences. So I think that these are some of the things that we need to, quash because this victory party, as a forum, in government, when said there are repercussions when something goes wrong. I think we need to do sober reflection. What our priorities are.
Party loses,
exactly, and no party is going to be in power forever. I could find 8 years or to I think we should be guided. Not this whole jubilation, and as if I think we need to cut it because I'm not unfair. Parliament. I think we need to democracy in try to be able to sanitizing institutions and make it better. and let me who Oliver appear before the committee and as for some yes on one kasaja to say only evidence or pacha on as a and watch it in recent times you've seen a lot of public attack across our parliament and as a forum. You see, you might think that I'm for any in this parliament, but we may also have to look at the other side of it. This is an institution. Democracy is an integral part of our democratic framework. But why is it consistently no parliament a subject of public bastardization or be a bastardized? Why? Because Neema bakwana mienua ekosu within the house, to me uphold that trust and the respect that the house deserves. And it's the reason why, for instance, Besine, I'm unable to explain why I ever go into elections in 2020. Now you boni patuo. Now for 4 good years, Parliament are representative of the people, no antimiam for IGP, and I want timiam for be to question why such killings happened. So another day, when such things happen, when you have power to do so, amount for confidence and trust in the institution will wane considerably. Amount for make echo as a semno. Yamao jumadi na amount for the money to so obey dear. Now who deliver below the belt, you lose your respect. And in recent times, we've also seen commentary from some honorable members within the house. Kwaya mofaso mokasa, kwaya mofaso mo engage others in as a forum. Most of it are unparliamentary. And any idea inspire respect. My man for bebu. Now I will tell house no move. Do you expect somebody to respect you? So I think there is something that they need to take critically. Now omuniama no mo ye no omu redeem the image of parliament. It must start from within, because there are some people within the house. Omo kasa ne niama omo ye no unparliamentary and signal respect. And then no respect, a mirror reflection. What you give in is what you get. You say, won't mean for a some and pinty when him now unkojina your friend say I should share him now expect to say your face will be black. It's not possible, you understand? So I think say image, if they want to redeem the image of parliament, they need to purge it from within, start from within, and make sure so the prefix we use for them honorable, they fit that description, they live by the standard of that prescription before inspire people outside to show you respect. Respect any day turn the market, you withdraw, we earn from people. You need to work for it. You understand? So I think that this whole thing, I try to turn parliament, into some kind of a revenge theater. Obaha say we and then Oliver by in some kind of fine condemn, but you could see clearly say people were just up for a pound of flesh. Say so you can't turn such an institution into a theater of revenge. Waba, man, who's another one? Cause you say a free woman be something castle. Yes, or some altercation with your friends. Another prayer. You see, quite a fast because almost say wakasa parliamentary way. You see the word micro minority. Then as a forum, the word micro minority is a description you can use to describe a size of a thing.
Yes.
You can't take away that thing from her and to describe her as a micro minority because you have power to search her or to force people to appear before you. You don't abuse that authority and be hauling people just like that. Because and some can Japan can but some na parliament and no more had they saw it, and there are several other semi within the house where they didn't act in the face of all these things. So like I'm saying, the parliament is so proven Ghana for taking it serious. Or no ankasa nshase yang page na ho. Na omu live by their own standards. No Ghana for who said they really deserve the respect they are asking. Ayantia Kromana, your friends say in the night of your friends say 8th parliament, you who they see some of the parliamentary members in the air for paper raining as a foreign the processes as a forward there was a military invasion and as a foreign Sanyama way in our Koswa amount for a show and people what they see is what inspired their conviction and how they see you. You cannot force people to respect you. We understand the constitutional prescription the aura and the authority a place on Parliament. But you should know, sir, these are individuals with different orientation, how they see things. But we are still doing. People are reading, people are learning. You can't just use your power to muzzle people. Say, men are me watching, men are me host, and force me. When you know things you're doing, and inspire respect. I think there is a caution to Parliament, and who said there is the need for them to rebuild their image, because that image, is broken, it's started. People don't have respect for them anymore because of some of the name and make election killings, one of them. When they have power, how many people now police phone say parliamentary committee does send to force these people to appear before them, and several other things you can sit here and mention. You see, you building democracy. You know, say the foundational way democracy need so institutions. We want institutions to be strong, robust, and be fair and firm and resolute. But at some point in time, if it become clear, so what veer off from that particular way now. Remember, you cannot force people. And then I'll call social media and they are more look at the way Ghanaian street parliament. What monitors are there? No, Abra issue by drop the chamber. Go and look at comment. These are the raw perception people have about you because of the way you live your life there. I think we need to send a signal, a message to people. Say we are honorable members and we are living by those standards. You don't live dishonorable life and expect people to treat you as an honorable. Okay. That will never happen. So they need to purge themselves from within and draw that respect from Ghanaian, because you can't force people to respect you.
Okay, may I say, Parliamentary sitting Koso na minority oppose the approval of Ama Kofi-Boa over derogatory comments about Akufo-Addo Mokaya January 3 time former president and in the final state of the nation address Parliament to we Honorable Kofi-Boa Ama Kofi-Boa Mokadin say be no so we be remembered so no. When he appeared before the committee, he was asked to apologize. Say remarks no make or say very harsh and inappropriate, and he unretracted no apologize before the vetting committee, and this honorable failed to apologize. Yeah, he did the right thing. Yes, and for that matter, minority for no oppose and say Gini Tumas, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, but by the unanimous decision, no say I for no yeah. It's only called plenary, no. Then they vote on him. Yes. Now the report now come a president. And he win there.
I'm not turning into a revenge theater. Then you understand what they are doing there.
And if they have started on this note, now Sunya now person croc no.
Ramford, my can't send you her. Obi or the second dinner was for pillow nadan. And you see, we must accept the NPP for what they are. Shesenka NPP in the crowd 183 and you crowd 88. And can we fail to exist?
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, yen we are penning comrade Honorable Kofi-Boa. You said the best pillow is your conscience. Nipa se utibu a move far. Don't care what people do.
Yes.
Asama okay no.
You believe in it.
What promising Yankupon? I know you only Yankupon temu asem.
Yeah.
Who could do heaven na ubu watanya? You solved it out. We no interest in approve no. Omo de come beto so omo to so aba you kura 183. Plus 4 independent, about 187. Simple. We end this near man how we and
leader, honorable Ayaga. Yeah, honor leader. Now, so a majority leader. It was permanent members ben 19 call. 1988 ever from Gra. We won't be
a screw benya.
Was there?
Oh, here to test screw benya.
But 91.
Mister to 4 book on the mom. I don't know minority chair. No crime. So won't pass this be man on transfer.
What the NPP should concern themselves on how to rebuild their party for future elections.
Arrogance.
They still have only such they have not still come out of defeat. No,
some say spiritual. General Secretary said, "I'm losing a spiritual."
Because they were not listening. And when you come out, be Biana, now you're part of the government. When people begin to start talking, open your ears and listen.
Beauty. Calipona, you're two from 12 to connect is spiritual.
Who can we spiritual? Oh yeah. Okay, stations.
What's that spiritual?
And I know some MPs, NPP, MP say spiritual. And you are on camper. You go Yankopa before the MPs in Yanko.
Yapon.
Yeah, that was it. So when you break a kind of Amaya Dian Abana we. Subscribe to channel, like in a comment, share the media number afofro ensa in Kabi. My crowd, you be share in the next video.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.